You know how it goes. You want to jump into the laser world, but the machines are either open frame, and you don't want that, or they are priced like a small car. What if you need a machine that is safe, affordable to start with, and compact for your small shop? That's exactly what this little box promises to do. This is the Sculpfun iCube Ultra, and in this video we'll go through the setup, features, real-world cutting and engraving, and a few things I think Sculpfun could improve. If you've been looking for a small laser to use at home or on the go, this might be the one to watch. Stick around if you like learning through hands-on testing and real results. And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. This is a true story. Because of my limited space in the shop, we're unboxing and running this laser right here in my office. So not only you will see how it performs, but also how it handles being used in a small indoor space. A test within a test. Now, full disclosure, Sculpfun sent me this unit for an honest review. I was genuinely happy when they reached out. It is a good sign that this channel is starting to get some traction, and that's thanks to all of you guys who keep watching and supporting. I've also had a real need for a compact and closed laser because of my limited space, like I said. So before saying yes, I did my homework and I saw that other creators that I trust did review this unit, and I was curious to see how it would perform in my own shop. So out of the box, the iCube Ultra comes mostly assembled, which is always nice. You get the main unit, instructions, power supply, USB cables, few tools and screws, starting materials, filters, the hose and the vent attachment, and of course the laser module. We also got the laser repair kit with a lens cap and tweezers and cleaning cloth. They even included a pair of goggles, which is always appreciated. I'll stick to my own though, I'm used to them, and I think I look mighty good in them. Everything was packed tight, maybe a little too tight. There's a white shipping tape that holds the enclosure in place, and removing it took some effort. Not complaining though. Better too secure than not enough. Now, let's talk about what's not included, because that's just as important, I think. What is not included, and I wish it was, is a honeycomb and the air assist. This is not a deal breaker by any means. Many vendors do not include these accessories at this price point for the base unit, but it would have been nice. I think if you're going to be heavy on cutting materials, these accessories are a must-have, as it improves the airflow and it keeps the back of your cuts clean. I had to borrow a DIY honeycomb from the kitchen. It should work okay for this demo, but just don't tell anyone. If you want a proper setup, Sculpfun sells a combo kit that bundles an air assist with a honeycomb plate. All the links will be in the description. The iCube Ultra itself feels very solid and well built. The footprint is minimal, which makes it easy to move or store. Perfect if you don't have a dedicated workshop or you want something portable, or if, like me, you've been meaning to finish that bench now for about 3 months over in the garage. So again, on the footprint, we're talking about 14 inches deep, 13 inches wide, and about 11.3 inches tall. The work area of this diode laser is 150 millimeters by 150 millimeters, which is plenty for the materials I normally work with. It is very cool they're able to put together an entire laser in such a small form factor. That's engineering for you. Setup is quick. Remove the lid, detach the base plate, place the laser on its side, slide the laser module into place, tighten those thumb screws, hook up the vent hose, and you're done. It is really straightforward. Once everything is in place, connected to power, insert that USB security key and you're good to go. It is pretty much plug and play. You can use Sculpfun's mobile app or connect to Lightburn or Laser Gerbil. I went with Lightburn since I already own it. One thing though, there's no official profile yet. I looked it up, I couldn't find anything, so you'll have to add it manually. But that only takes about a minute or so. I used a wired USB connection. No issues there after installing that CH340 drivers. That's pretty standard. If you are a visual person like me, Sculpfun has a YouTube channel and a Facebook group with tutorials and setup guides. I will link them below. It is definitely worth it checking out if you're just starting out though. All right, let's see what else we got. Autofocus is one button. The probe drops, senses the surface, and sets the correct height automatically. No rulers, no guesswork, no flashlight gymnastics there. That feature alone makes this laser much more beginner-friendly than open frame models that require manual focusing every time. The top button on the side is multifunction. Tap to pause hold it down for 3 seconds to stop, and a few other things. The smaller button below is your autofocus. A label of sorts would have been nice there. You know, I got lost a few times, but they're easy to remember once you know what is what. This laser is fully enclosed class 1 machine, which should give you a peace of mind, but even so, I still recommend wearing safety glasses. The door interlocks automatically, pauses the job if it's opened, and the e-stop button is there if you ever need to shut things down instantly. The removable USB key disables the laser when it's not in use. And here's something I really like. The light indicators on the top, they're amazing. Green for standby, blue while running, yellow when finished, and red for errors. Since I usually have music playing or I wear my ear protection, these visual cues make it easy to see what's happening at a glance. One thing I really appreciate about the iCube Ultra is how visible everything is. You can easily watch your job from many different angles and, you know, keep an eye on how things are moving along. The built-in filter system helps reduce odors during engraving, and for small projects, it works surprisingly well. If you're planning on doing a lot of cutting, I highly recommend attaching the hose and venting it outdoors or into a dedicated L filter system. The build quality feels solid enough that I would have no problem taking this to a craft fair or a workshop demo. The unit I have came with the 12-watt blue diode module. That's the workhorse for most of us hobbyists. You can also upgrade to the optional IR module if you want to engrave metals later on. It all fits in the same machine and it should be an easy swap when needed. Let's run a few tests with materials I use most often in my shop. First, we're going to test plywood. This is BALTIC birch. I buy this in bulk. I think this is what I use the most for my projects. This one is 3 millimeters thick. I set up the test to use a wide range of power and speed. I've never used this machine, so I was curious as to what it could do. As you can see, that got very sharp there in the bottom, but that's okay. It's all part of the test. We're just testing here. Now, speed stops out at around 10,000 millimeters per minute. That's not lightning fast, but is completely fine for hobby use, small businesses, or anyone making personalized items. Next, we will do this SLATE stone coasters. This one is raw stone. I didn't do anything to it. I will also do a coaster that I prepare with lacquer, just to compare. So what do you think? Some folks like the raw look of the coaster. I like the lacquer one. It looks very sharp. But to each their own, right? So what's your favorite? Do you have another treatment for your stone coasters you want to share? Drop it in the comments. CORK coasters are next. They burn really fast. So I stayed around 6,000 millimeters per minute speed. I got a really nice and clean test here. Next we will try the small keychain. This is just leatherette. Nothing fancy here. I left the text and numbers out of the engraving just to save real estate. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in knowing the numbers. I can share them, no problem. Next, I had this little cutting board that I wanted to engrave for some time now, but I did not have a use for it, so let's try it. As you can see, it fits perfectly. This is BEECH, according to the label. Let's assume this is beech wood. Let's do some walnut now. This is an offcut I kept because it had potential. I knew I was going to use it one day, you see? I also went ahead and tested engraving on MDF. I don't normally use MDF for engravings, but we're here, why not? I did some ACACIA wood. This is a really nice little keychain. I really like it. Again, because of real estate restrictions, I had to engrave without the text and numbers. I can share those if you want to. And now for my least favorite material to engrave and to pronounce. BAMBU, 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 I don't know. All right, not too bad. Actually, it's actually one of the best engravings I've done on BAMBU. Overall, I'm happy with the range of materials and the results we got. Now let's do some cutting. I will start easy. I have this nice 1.3 millimeter walnut ply. Let's see what numbers we get. All right, walnut, looking good. Next, we will do BALTIC birch. This is 3 millimeters or so. The thing with plywood is that it's often not the exact size that is advertised. So if you're expecting to get 3 millimeters, plan for a little less or a little more. Or better yet, always measure and measure again. I'm going to try MDF next. From time to time, I like to use MDF instead of plywood. This one is also about 3 millimeters MDF. Let's see how it goes. I also did 4mm beech wood. I'm just having too much fun now. Alright, I cut various types and thickness sizes of plywood without any issues. I did 1, 3, 4, which is what I work with in the shop. I also tested a 3mm MDF sheet, no issues. From my testing, I don't think this laser will have any issue cutting 5mm ply. I see a lot more testing in my future. I need to do some cleaning. I want to make sure the machine is always in top shape. All I did was to wipe it down with some baby wipes, which by the way, I'm running low. I did a little vacuuming too and wiped the base plate. That's all is needed for now. Let's do now a couple of real engravings and cut projects. I will get some graphics here from Creative Fabrica and let's get this machine busy. After checking the material testings results, I will start with this slate stone. Let's see how it goes. Now let's do some cork. This one came out a little off-center. That was just me not measuring things and eyeballing my way through life. A year ago or so, I made this bottle openers out of walnut. I used my CNC and I left a couple of them blanks as I tend to give them out as gifts. This one's come with like little magnets. I don't normally install them when I'm doing the engraving, so they're not there. Then we will do a fun engraving for this little beechwood cutting board. The good thing about this type of wood is that I can always sand off the test engraving I did with the material testing. And I also tested out this little keychain. Listen to the keychain, that's all I'm saying. And again, let's see how my frenemy, the BAMBU cutting board does. All right, not bad at all. Wow, pretty good. One of you guys advised to go all out on the engraving, to go as dark as I can stomach it, and then just sand it. I think I will try that next. Let's see how this raw walnut does here. Again, very nice and clear lines. Now, in the spirit of the season, let me go all out and show you one last project. This one was done using 3mm BALTIC birch. I sourced the image from Creative Fabrica as always. I brought the SVG into Lightburn and did small adjustments and editing here and there just to move things around. This took about 14 minutes to engrave and cut, so that's pretty good in my book. Now, without an air assist or honeycomb, you'll see a bit of smoke staining on the sides and also in the back. A small spacer will help a lot here, and also borrowing something from the kitchen works in a pinch. When it comes to noise, this laser is about the level of a desktop fan. You'll hear it, but it's not annoying. The fan runs as soon as you power on the machine, so it's constant airflow through those filters. The enclosure contains light and fumes very well. You'll still notice a little smell after longer jobs, but much less than with an open frame machine, of course. If you're using it indoors, vent it outside or add an air purifier. Honestly, that's good advice for any laser, no matter the brand. Here's what I think after all this testing. Let's start with the strengths. Number one, safety. It is enclosed, it is well built, and peace of mind safe. The autofocus, one button, accurate every time. Portability, lightweight, compact, and easy to move. Expandability, you can add the IR module for metal engraving. Now, opportunities for improvement. No Wi-Fi yet, and only USB connectivity. No honeycomb or air assist included. Would love to see that in the bundle, but I also get why it's not included. Framing visibility is limited with the door closed. It is a security feature, I get it, but there is room for improvement right there. Overall, the positives easily outweigh the negatives. It is a couple of accessories away from being a complete little system. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. So who is the iCube Ultra really for? I would say it's perfect for three types of users. Beginners who want safety and ease of use. Hobbyists with a limited space or indoor setups. Makers on the go. Anyone doing craft shows or public demos where enclosure safety matters. It is safe, compact, and performs very well. It is not a production machine, but it's an excellent fit for personal projects, learning, and creative work. Again, Sculpfun sent me this unit for review, but they didn't pay me to say anything. Everything you've seen here is based on my own experience, my own work. If you want to check it out or support the channel, I've left the links in the description below. They don't cost you anything extra, but they help me keep testing and sharing honest reviews like this. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments what you would like to see tested next. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. So long.